I have brought you here because I discovered the best dating sim of all time. And I have just downloaded it before stream. And I would very much like to play it with you all. Judging by just the song and like the title screen, I don't think it's gonna be very copyright friendly, so we're just going to deal with it. A JRPG dating sim. JRPG standing for John, Ringo, Paul, and George. That is perfect. I didn't even think of that. All right, let's get into it. 22nd of November, 1963. Did Garfield exist in 1963? Maybe he did. I don't think they made marketable plushies back then, though. If they did, could you imagine the amount of Beatles plushies that there would be? You sat yourself with the usual aches and pains. Why do I have aches and pains? What is wrong with me? Am I like chronically ill? From the edge of the bed, you could see yourself reflected in the mirror. You were a plain-looking girl. A regular girl. Nothing remarkable at all. You were very plain. If you're walking down the street, heads would not turn. You don't need to hammer it in like that. I get it. Yes, a regular girl. The most run-of-the-mill female girl. Though there was one thing that wasn't like other girls. Unlike other foolish members of your generation, listening to that modern 1963 garbage, you listened to real music. Oftentimes when walking home, school children would follow you on their bikes. Old music fan! Look at that freak! She listens to old music! As they pelted you with rocks? Was this just normal in the 1960s? Why don't you go listen to some swing jazz, old music fan? Regardless, you made your way out of bed and began to get ready for another day of 1963 English high school. Note, the buses in England are red. Okay. Your mum was in the kitchen table smoking a cigarette, as was very normal in the 1960s. Well, I'm off to high school. Bye, Mom. She stood up dramatically from the kitchen table. Her wine glass knocked over and so did her other liquors. Ah, yes. I love having my wine and other liquors in the morning. You think you're so great, costing me money, draining my finances, eating food. Well, guess what? You're 18 now, and that means you were taken by a shock, your school bag hanging off your delicate feminine shoulder. Ah, yes, my delicate feminine shoulder. He'll be here any moment. Be here? Who? Your new owner? Was this normal in the 60s? Could you just train your children? There was a knock at the door. Who the hell is that? Your mum sighed. Beatle Paul McCartney! This game is so realistic. I wish this was my life. I wish I randomly got adopted by Paul McCartney. Him. Why does he look so cursed? That face is gonna be in my dreams for the next week. Your shaky mascara-rimmed gaze shakily moved to the tall, handsome, sickly Englishman in the doorway. Looks like you're my property, by gum. You were at a loss for words. Just like how I am in real life. Your mum took a long drag from her cigarette. Beatle Paul McCartney was still standing there. Ferga, you're not possibly implying that this game features historical inaccuracies. The HIO page said that it was historically accurate. I'm just putting it out there. You sold me to a musician? How? Gumtree? Historically accurate game, guys. Historically accurate game, by the way. You bought me on Gumtree? McCartney was grinning cheekily. That does not look like a cheeky grin to me. He looks like he's about to devour me like a carnivorous animal. You were on Gumtree one day and, oh, I don't know, decided to buy a person? Yes. Put Paul made this face. They didn't even want to draw it. They just got a picture of him and put it into the freaking game. How much was I worth, huh? £10. To be fair, that's like a lot in the 60s, so I'll take it. It's more money in 1963. I paid off the British mortgage. Beatle Paul McCartney came. Not in that way, you pervs. XD. Between the two of you and a half. You had your arms crossed moodily the whole ride to the Beatles' house. They have a house together. Why do they have a house together? Notice in this scene, Paul is driving. However, this would be historically inaccurate. 14th of June 1963 at 11:45 p.m., Beatle Paul was driving on Seabank Road in Wallasey. McCartney's car was paced for 0.2 of a mile, going 50 to 55 miles per hour. This was McCartney's third speeding conviction that year. Ultimately, Paul was fined £31 and yes, disqualified from driving for a year. Stop making sounds. I am trying to concentrate on the radio. Listen, Paul, turn up the knob. Not that knob, you perps. Off the radio. Your hands immediately shot to your ears in disgust. When I saw her standing there. You've already met me. Of course, that is the fabulous Paul McCartney! In all caps. Next is John Lennon! Whenever it's in full caps, I have to yell it as loud as I possibly can. He seemed to be in a state of arousal, talking positively of himself. I have a feeling whoever made this hates Paul. Of course, in those days, we were called the quarterback! And the next lineup is our lead guitarist, George Harrison. Oh, and our drummer. He's called Ringo because he wears rings. Together we are the fabulous Beatles! Paul shouted in his jovial Scouse dialect, garbled in its primitive Northern English into... I feel like calling accents primitive is very offensive. Just me though. Hello lads, I bought a woman. Make sure to feed her this time. By gum, Macca, you've got to stop buying hookers. Just fuck regular broads like the rest of us. On the itch.io page for this game, it says it's 16 plus. I feel like it should be 18 plus for those lines alone. But Ferga's no hooker, actually. I bought her up her mum for no less than 10 quid. Good lord, Macca. You've bought a fucking girl? Paul, you can't just buy a fucking girl. Work hard, play hard, Beatles. And by play hard, I mean wank together! This game was a mistake. Welcome to my swinging pad. I was out when we chose rooms, so mine's the smallest. Of course, I've never had a girl complain before when I brought her in here. Your pad's nice and all, but I thought you were showing me to my accommodation? Happily, Paul strode to a very large dog crate set up in the corner of the room. He ruffled through the blanket, then pulled out what looked to be a stuffed toy. Women really like cute things. Must be why I get laid so often. Well, I mean, he's not wrong. He's really not wrong. Well, love, lads and I have got to record for a bit. Get in! You dozed off in your crate. It was very comfortable. You could feel the care Paul put into it. The blanket smelled just like him. Cunt and cigarettes. Okay, you were being roused from your slumber. Instead of cunt and cigarettes, it smelled like tin foodstuffs, cigarettes, and tobacco original eau de cologne. You turned over, somewhat annoyed by being disturbed by the stranger. Why is George Harrison trying to wake me up? To your surprise, it was the third one from the group. Why is he specifically the third one? I was just dreaming. Nothing sexual. Not anything about Paul either. That would be weird. To have a sexual dream about Paul. Not that I've ever had a sexual dream about Paul or anything. Anyway, what was Paul, the Queen of England? Millionaire with unlimited means, able to afford a crate for kings? Note, yes. My name is George. I play lead guitar because I am the best at guitar. Note, he would also have a stellar solo career. And the objective best solo debut of any of the four Beatles. All things... Note to the note. This is not true. Paul actually had the best solo career out of any Beatle. Imagine, haha, get it? Coming out with fucking McCartney 1, then George... McCartney 1 was a good album! I hate whoever made this game. I have a feeling whoever wrote the script for this really likes George. He's obviously the best. And does he get any recognition from those whores, Lennon, McCartney? No. This is why the breakup of the Beatles was a good thing. As handsome, formidable, and respectable of a man George seemed to be, he was still English. Do you like being in that crate? Yes. I love this crate. I don't mind being in a crate or you're right, this sucks. I don't mind being in the crate. The crate is comfy, and I'm safe here. I bet you're happy to see me. He blew a kiss and gave a wink. How was the crate, love? Do you like it? Yes, I do. I love the crate. You blushed, nodding. Let's go downstairs. You blushed. Was Paul asking you out? He held out his arm and you took it, blissfully excited. Wait, I almost forgot. Did he just give us a smooch? Did Paul McCartney just give me a smooch? Paul kissed you right on the mouth? I'm about to fangirl. I'm not gonna lie. You thought your heart was gonna beat out of your chest. Hey, Paul, you brought the Gumtree girl. Hey, John, she was worth each and every one of those 10 pounds. Hey, lads, did you hear the news? President's dead. Eh? Dead? Dead today, yeah. They shot him. From a car, you know. President? Yeah, you know. JFK. Huh? John F. Kennedy. The American president. The ruler, you know? So, who's next in line for the throne? Holy nit. There's no throne in America, remember? Call me Ned one more bloody time and you'll be out of the fucking bat! I don't think that was necessary. I mean, you were the one who was confused and didn't know who John F. Kennedy was. I'm sorry, Paul, but chill out, bro. Wow, the war was only 20 years ago. You know, the Second World War. Because that ended in the 40s, and it is now the 60s. Wow, I didn't know that. Slavery's no good. Good thing it's illegal now, you know. I agree, you know. Let me make myself bigger, I'm a bit small. People shouldn't buy other people. I think we should have an album where we're all fully nude on the cover. Ah yes, just like real life. Not with the Beatles, but with John and Yoko. Oh god. There was a silence among the group. I feel like he would actually suggest this. So as I was saying, will all we Stark can see on the front? All of us in a line? Yes. But not one in front of the other. We're facing the viewers, see? All in a row. Without pricks out. Kind of like the Beatles Abbey Road cover, which didn't exist yet, by the way. Damn it, George. It's not difficult to understand. We're all stood next to each other on the LP, facing the camera, our pricks hanging in the wind. Like the Weezer Blue album, which existed in the 60s, of course. Exactly. Thank you, Paul. That's why it's Lennon McCartney and not... He found out the gangly one called George. Will it be cut at the knee like in the Weezer album? It's really important the feet are in frame. What will the album be called? Four Virgins. Cool reference, I guess. I don't know why that was necessary, though. Paul began to get irritated with you himself. Love, behave yourself. You hung up your head deeply ashamed. I'm sorry, Paul. Paul softened, noticing you were generally apologetic. That's alright, love. You're still learning. The others were sympathetic as well. After all, in the span of the day, you were bought and sold to the fabulous Beatles! I'm sure you could use a break from all that. Paul kissed me. Paul kissed me. Paul kissed me. Oh my god. You felt as if you were about to melt. I am already melting as we speak, chat. Love, how about you and the other girls go to the kitchen and make us all a lovely pot of tea? You nodded and slowly stood up from his lap. Why is there a nude drawing? I don't think that's allowed on stream. For the sake of not getting banned, I'm just gonna do this like this for now. Wow, so why is there just spilled baked beans and spilled milk on the counter? The first time you were out of sight of those naughty Beatles and not in the dog crate either. Your eyes drifted, and there was a window in the kitchen. It was open. You didn't have to do this anymore. You could run away. You could be free. Free of the Beatles horrors. Is that what you wanted? Should we escape? I want to get the Paul ending. I don't want to escape. I'm gonna stay put. Spent another hour in a corner until a gentle hand was laid on your shoulder. Hello, love. This is Paul, by the way. The boob picture is off the screen now. I can bring it back on. Paul. Paul walked in after you. He had such a sweet-looking face. What am I supposed to wear to bed? I have just the thing. Then he turned and held out a white nightgown. I like nightgowns. He gestured to his crotch. Easy access. And I don't just mean for pissing. You disrobed, unzipping your dress, slipping out your stockings. Paul smirked. I don't think this game is stream safe, guys. He pointed at your chest. This game is going to get me banned. Then what's that? You looked down. My breasts? Paul's eyes widened. By gum, so they are. You slipped on the nightgown. Paul, whistle? Why did he have to add a sound effect? Ooh, baby. But you were alone with the man you were smitten for. He undressed so sensually. Most girls were blonde. However, you were not blonde. Many girls could not read, but you could often string together sentences. Given you sounded them out beforehand. However, there was one and only one thing that made you not like the other girls. You were in love with a man. There was no other like him. Your body heated. The beginnings of lust. itch.io said this game was 16 plus, not 18 plus. So I'm hoping that there's nothing explicit shown in this game. Your body tensed, craving his touch. You wanted to reach out and touch. No, grab him. Grab him like he was a woman and show him you were a man. Oh, McCartney, you quivered. Someone like you bring the beast out of me. His hazel eyes softened. The beast? You gripped his face in... Oh my god! Oh, Maggie. I simply cannot control myself any longer. I must have you. You went in for the kiss, but McCartney turned his head! Unrequited passion? Ah, but love, it's me that has you. Or have you forgotten? Well, he was right. You were of his possession, and therefore, his eyes were dark when meeting yours. Sensual hazel, though but very dark. I will have you! He captured your mouth in a fiery embrace. Hands groped at your female body. Ah yes, my female body. McCartney moaned obscenely. The fury of your mutual passion was unparalleled. The room shook with your copulation. Pictures falling off the walls? The very foundation of 57 Green Street being violated. McCartney cried out like a cat in the heat, which she very much was. His body was supple with the virility of youth, and he went for multiple rounds and edges too. The Sainsbury closed at 11, but you went all night long. Oh, we got the true ending? Huh.